Good news, more relief checks are on the way. We have good news, more relief checks are on the way. New deposit dates have been confirmed, and several guaranteed income programs across the country are expected to provide over $500 in payments to thousands of Americans. But many insist that the financial relief will be expanded to everybody. So in the wake of the economic crisis driven by the hard times, cities explored universal basic income programs to help those affected financially. Several guaranteed income pilot programs are scheduled to continue throughout this year, while others are scheduled to end this year, and at least 45 cities in the country started some kind of guaranteed income pilot program in 2020 or a few years preceding that. The number of programs have increased over time, of course, and generally a lottery determines recipients from a pool of eligible applicants. Payments vary from $200 to $1,000, and some cities issue bi-weekly payments. Next month on May 15th, eligible residents in Massachusetts will receive a relief check for up to $400. It will be the third and final payment of a food and utility subsidy program, which distributed the first two on March 15th, April 15th. The project known as the Chelsea Eats program is sending checks ranging from $200 to $400 to hundreds of thousands of eligible people. The recipients have been receiving the subsidy through debit cards, which were handed out in March. The initiative issues varying amounts depending on the size of the household. A one-member household would receive $200, a household of two would get $300, and those with three or more people would collect $400. The city is also beginning to introduce the Guaranteed Income Program, and at the height of the crisis, it has been the largest project of the sort in the state. In the city of Almonte, more than 2,500 households have applied for the city's Guaranteed Income Program, the first of its kind, and the city is seeking to provide eligible residents to get $500 a month for a period of 12 months. It uses funds from the American Rescue Plan Act in an effort to quell the growth of poverty and economic disparities that have amplified during this tough time as the region emerges from it. Dozens of local programs across the state of California have sprung in recent years, including some that have been privately funded. Currently, there is the Big Leap program, which currently gives $1,000 by cash payments to families that receive it for 12 months or longer. The no-strings-attached payments are given to families who are impacted by the tough times and are living in poverty. And some lawmakers have proposed similar checks for all Americans, including Representative Ilhan Omar and Bernie Sanders, but this plan will likely face many obstacles in the House and Senate, as Joe Biden prepares to announce his re-election campaign next week. A new poll shows that more and more Democrats vote for someone else, and according to the Associated Press poll, only half Democrats, or 47%, think Biden should run again. Overall, just 26% of Americans want him to run. The 78% of Democrats said they approve of the work that Joe Biden is doing. And 81% of people said they would probably vote for him in the general election if he's a nominee. 41% said they definitely back him, and 40% said they probably would. Democrats familiar with the plan told USA Today that the president prepared to formally kick off his 2024 campaign with the release of a video next Tuesday. Biden has said for months that he intends to run, but has held off a formal announcement amid Republicans infighting for the GOP nomination and the lack of viable Democratic challengers. By choosing April 25th, Biden would make time for the announcement with the 4-year anniversary of his entry into the presidential election. Biden remains hampered by the approval ratings in the low 40s, but still, there's a chance that Joe Biden can win yet again.
Thank you. You know, this last year, it really was a headline of Democrats deliver, but there's more to do, and that's what we're focused on for the coming year as it relates to the costs that families are feeling every single day. And there's no question that our country still faces supply chain challenges. I certainly from Michigan can speak about that and what that means, and everything that we buy in terms of cars and appliances and every part of the economy, and we are laser focused on addressing that, and the increased costs due to COVID. And over again, when we look at what has happened when you shut the economy down in the United States and globally, the ripple effect is in every part of our lives. And so we have been laser focused and will continue to be laser focused in addressing that. And Republicans have done nothing to lower costs. They have proposed nothing to lower costs. We've worked with President Biden to pass the American Rescue Plan that put shots in people's arms to create safety for them, for their family, to get kids back in school. When the president took office, there were 46% of the children in America in school. Now it's 98%. That's a big difference, and we understand the challenges families still face under COVID, but it's safer. Children are back and learning in the classroom. And we've gotten our economy moving in the fastest, strongest way since 1984. It is amazing, the underlying strength, even when we've seen costs go up, which are very real. So consider a Michigan family with 2 young children. Dad works at a manufacturing plant. Mom manages a local restaurant. They're not wealthy, but they work hard, and they get by. Then the pandemic hits. This Michigan family needed help, and the American Rescue Plan delivered. We established the restaurant
living increase for their Social Security starting next year, but we're learning from experts that may not be a good thing. Other benefits based on income levels and in some instances lead to penalties if you don't withhold enough money.
Or COLA is based off of the rate of inflation. It's at a 40-year high.
A couple of clients who I have worked with and they are struggling to pay their rent.
Everyone, regardless of where a person lives or how much they have in savings. It will go to people automatically.
We got a ton of news with the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI and SSDI. Here's what I want you guys to know about the fourth stimulus payment. It's very, very important. There are several ways that you may be able to receive additional stimulus cash from the federal government. Lawmakers have already announced new plans that have been put forward in Congress. It just comes as a way to aim and provide more relief to the people in need. Homeowners have already experienced income loss in the course of the crisis. While some may have recovered from the events of the past 2 years, homeowners might still be struggling to keep up with their housing payments, especially in light of recent inflation. So, early on in the crisis, homeowners were given the option to pause on their mortgage payments via a process known as forbearance, but that option expired after 18 months. It means that mortgage borrowers who took advantage of it early may have exhausted that relief months ago. The good news, though, is that there is still relief available, and for people who are struggling with household expenses, don't worry because President Biden got your back. Homeowners could be eligible for as much as $80,000 in aid. While this is certain, projections like mortgage forbearance have been largely run out there's still some aid available for property owners thanks to the Homeowner Assistance Fund, and the fund is at a good use of $10 billion available to pay to homeowners who are just behind the mortgage and other housing-related expenses. The fund has a good $10 billion available to pay to homeowners who are behind the mortgages and other housing-related expenses. As was the case with rental assistance funds, money from the Homeowner Assistance Fund will be given out at the state level, but eligible recipients will be in line for anywhere from $15,000 to $80,000. The money can cover expenses including mortgage payments, property tax, and utilities. To qualify for the aid under the program, homeowners have just got to show that they experienced a financial hardship related to the crisis. They'll need to have a household income that's below 150% of the area's median income. Even if you didn't even file a 2021 federal income tax return, don't worry about it because President Biden also did this. He said that in order to be able to claim extra stimulus cash mid-October, the IRS sent letters to more than 9 million individuals and families who qualified for this check. Many in this group may be eligible to claim the child